Today we're going to be talking about how to solve a multi-step equation. And so if you like to follow steps as you work math problems, there are 3 steps we're going to follow today. The first step is to distribute if necessary. So first you want to look for anything that you need to distribute in the equation. And sometimes there will not be anything that you need to distribute, so that's why it says if necessary. Sometimes you'll be able to skip this step. Step 2, combine like terms. Step 3, solve. So for number 1, I'm following the steps. I'm looking at step 1, distribute if necessary. There's nothing to distribute for number 1, so I need to move on to step 2. Step 2, combine like terms. This step of moving the terms around so that we have the like terms next to each other is optional. 9x has a like term with negative 7x. And positive 1 has a like term with negative 5. So when we combine 9x and negative 7x, we get 2x. And when we combine 1 plus negative 5, we get negative 4. This equals negative 20. So as you look at this, now you see that we have a problem that we've seen before. To keep going, we need to add 4 to both sides. So 2x equals negative 20 plus 4 is negative 16. We divide both sides by 2. And negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. For number 2, we start over with our steps. Number 2, we're looking for anything that we need to distribute. We do need to distribute negative 7. So 91 equals negative 7 times 3a is negative 21a. And negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. So we see after we distribute that we don't have any like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. We have a problem that we've seen before. We need to take 7 and subtract it from both sides. 91 minus 7 is 84. So we have 84 equals negative 21a, or the same thing, negative 21a equals 84. Divide both sides by negative 21. 84 divided by negative 21 is negative 4. Number 3, starting over with our steps. Step 1, distribute. This time we're distributing a negative 5. So 4m is not being multiplied by anything. We just need to copy 4m down. 4m. Negative 5 times 3m. Negative 15m. Negative 5 times 10. Negative 50. So step 2, combine like terms. We have like terms right here. 4m minus 15m is negative 11m. Minus 50 equals 126. So from here we need to add 50 to both sides. So we have negative 11m equals 176. Divide both sides by negative 11. So 176 divided by 11. 11 won't go into 1, but 11 will go into 17. How many times? 1 time. have 66 left over. How many times will 11 go into 66? 6 times. So m is negative 16. Why is it negative 16? Because the 11 was negative and the 176 was positive. A positive divided by a negative is negative. For the next one, we get to distribute 2 times. We need to just first distribute this negative 3. Negative 3 times k, negative 3k. Negative 3 times negative 8, positive 24. So remember when we have a negative and then a parenthesis, that represents a negative 1. So we need to distribute a negative 1 inside this set of parentheses. Negative 1 times k, negative 1k, and negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. So now we're looking for like terms. So I want to say negative 3k minus 1k plus 24 minus 5 equals 23. Negative 3k minus 1k is negative 4k, and 24 minus 5 is positive 19. From here, we need to subtract 19 from both sides. Negative 4k equals 19 taken away from 23 is positive 4. So our last step here is we need to divide both sides by negative 4. So k is negative 1. So for this last problem, I want you to pause the video, try this last problem on your own. When you're done, come back to the video to see if you worked it correctly. So go ahead and pause the video and work number 5 on your own. So now that you've worked number 5, we'll work it together. Remember, step 1, I'm looking for anything that needs to be distributed. So I see parentheses here, and I know I need to distribute negative 6 inside those parentheses. So 20 equals 10x. 10x, we haven't done anything with that yet, so I just copy it down. Negative 6 times 2x, negative 12x. Negative 6 times positive 5 is negative 30. So I have like terms that we need to combine. I have 10x minus 2x here. So 20 equals 10x minus 12x is negative 2x. I copy down the negative 30. Next, we need to add 30 to both sides. 50 equals negative 2x. Same thing as negative 2x equals 50. Our last step is that we need to divide both sides by negative 2. So x equals negative 25.